Obligatory podcast intro.
Hi, hello, and welcome. This is Flipping Pages with Matt and Adam. I'm Matt with my co-host Adam, and this show is where we take all 81 letters of the alphabet. We put them in an ammo crate. We each draw a letter and then pick a comic that begins with that letter. I don't know what he got. He doesn't know what I have. Spoilers ahead for these two. And real quick, if you feel like it, stop by Instagram at Flipping Pages 24 or Facebook at Flipping Pages with Matt and Adam. Come say hi.
We do stuff on there sometimes.
Sometimes we do stuff on there.
But it is the easiest way to hit us up. That's for sure.
It is, for sure, because my phone number's not out there.
No, I don't want to do that.
And you know what? My phone's broken. It's been broken.
It has been.
For like a
I'm
minute.
actually surprised you haven't got it. Well, you have your extra.
Been kind of enjoying it.
Yeah.
You know why? I can't watch YouTube and shit at work, though. That's the only
okay.
thing that... listen, because I drive.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying.
All right. What letter did you get?
I got N.
I got Y. And you just did, what was it called?
Young Shadow.
Yeah, that's what it was called. So, like, Y just pops up, bro.
Yeah, well, I think we talked about that happening, where we could get one at the end of a run, and then right at the beginning.
Throw it back in, because we recycle them or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
all
exactly.
81 of them.
Half Price didn't have anything for me this time, bro.
For Y?
Yeah. It's usually not even a hard one to do. I've done a Y up there before.
I did one recently, a lot of young
Of
stuff.
course.
A lot of young.
But I went up there and I was like looking and looking, pulling a couple off. There was like it wasn't a no selection. There just wasn't a lot. So I pulled a couple off and I was like looking at the prices too, and I was like, that's too much. This is Half Price. I can't believe somebody spent whatever it was going to be, $40 on this.
One book.
Yeah. So, like, oh, crap. So I ended up having to do digital, but that actually worked out for me. I found something pretty cool, and it's definitely not super popular. I know that.
Yeah.
And
What's it
so
called?
it's an IDW comic, and it's called Yakuza Demon Killers. So
Oh, shit.
3 words. The like logo title looks kind of dope. The Yakuza is in one font, and then Demon Killers below it is in a totally different font. I actually noticed that because I read it a bunch of times.
Yeah.
I was like, that looks cool. Like, one's more like a cyberpunky. The Yakuza part looks kind of almost like a cyberpunky font.
Weird.
And Demon Killers looks like it's like fake Roman or Latin or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So it was cool, man.
This sounds like something I would do.
The name alone, I just read the name part and then saw the first cover, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that because usually I do the tiniest bit of reading with something just to make sure.
Yeah, same.
It just is. There's sometimes it's
I want to make sure it's finished.
Yes, there's times that it's unrecordable almost. Where I'll read like that one that was really gory that I didn't end up doing. I almost felt like it was unrecordable. I didn't want to say all this stuff in
Oh,
it.
yeah, no.
So I was like, nah, I'm going to skip that. I had no idea what this was. I could tell how many issues it was, and that was a big thing. It was only 4 issues.
Nice.
So I was like, perfect. Last one I did was 9 or whatever. So I was like, I'm going to go a little slow on this one.
Yeah.
So it came out, the first issue came out in 2016. The writer, oh my God, I should have done the Google Translate to help me pronounce this name.
I got some weird ones too.
So his first name's Amit, which is nice and easy, and Chauhan maybe is his last name.
Okay.
It's similar to that. He is the writer, like I said, and then the artist is just Eli Powell. They do all 4 issues. I think when I looked at the credits, maybe the colorist changed throughout it, but that's not a huge deal. So this takes place.
It is to him.
So I think this place is supposed to be taking place concurrently. So 2016 is the setting.
Oh, okay.
They're in Tokyo. At first, I was like, "Oh, is this like the future cyberpunk stuff?" And I was like,
Yeah,
"Wait, no,
that's what I was worried about.
It's just Tokyo." So I was like, "Okay, cool," because I do that a lot because I'm a sci-fi guy. So
Yeah, you like that.
So many of mine turn out that way.
Don't
So I
mix
was-
genres over here, bro.
yeah, I was like, no, I'm just gonna. I was like happy. I was like, good. Matt was gonna make fun of me. I did
Yep.
another one. So this is Kabukicho District, Tokyo. Our first character's name is Ochida. I don't think we learn last name, if that's her last name or first, whatever. I don't know how Japanese names works, but the only name she's called the entire time is Ochida.
Like Seal.
Yeah, she's a one name.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
exactly. And then her homie, I'm just gonna name off just these couple characters. Her homie's name is Hizo, and he's like a half white, half Japanese guy, and he's like her mentor, I guess you would say, boss maybe.
Okay.
And she only calls him Rizzo.
Rizzo?
Yeah. So at first I thought they were making a joke about how Japanese people say letters and stuff, but because that's what it seems like.
Yeah, right.
But because he complains about it all the time, she calls him Rizzo, and he's like, we've known each other 10 years or whatever it's been, and you still can't pronounce my name, so it's obvious she's doing it on purpose.
She's
to
messing with him.
Yeah. They are just thieves, like
nice, cool.
career criminals. The actual story starts out with her arm tied off, and she had just shot up some H or whatever, and she's just like chilling, like not even really hiding or whatever, and she's like thinking she's about to die. She's like picturing death approaching her and taking her. She's like, finally. She's not mad about it. She didn't try to kill herself, but she's not mad that death finally found her. She's like talking about how shitty her life has been, how the drugs help her numb, whatever. And then she's like, death? And death comes over and touches her, and it's Rizzo, Hizo, her boss.
Rizzo, Hizo.
Yeah. So as soon as he touches her, she goes, death, and says it out loud, and then instantly pukes all over his shoes.
Yeah.
Oh, and I want to mention now because I think I'm going to skip it later. So, like I said, Hizo is Japanese. He was born there. He lived there his entire life, but he dresses like a white guy, like a punk white guy, and he's mixed or whatever. So like everybody thinks he's a white guy. So
okay.
he uses that to his advantage constantly. He acts like he doesn't speak Japanese all the time. So like he can hear what people are talking about. Or like, he uses it really well.
Some good thief.
Yeah, so that's
tools
why I brought it up.
That's cool.
They are, besides her doing all the drugs, they're pretty professionals. They're smart
Besides
people.
the drugs.
And so he's like the boss, and he plans everything. She's a safe cracker / alarm cracker, whatever. And so he's there to pick her up for a job. He grabs her, and he's real pissed that she's super fucked up or whatever, and he's like, you're so irresponsible, like I told you we might get a job or whatever, I might need you. And so she's like on the back of the motorcycle going down the freeway while he's bitching at her, and she's just puking the entire time. So like every panel it shows puke coming out of her mouth.
What the fuck?
For like 2 pages. Like he's just yelling at her.
Heroin's strong.
Yeah, don't do drugs, kids.
Don't do it.
Yeah. So they're streaming over to a museum. He wants to steal something from the museum, and he needs her to crack a lock or two.
Right.
So they show up at the museum, and he's got 2 new guys, white guys from America. He said he needs more muscle for this job or what in general.
Right.
So they've never worked with these guys before. They're actually pretty professional. They get in, they're walking in, and they're like getting to the area where they need to steal whatever, and up behind them walks, I think it's only 4 guys, 4 Yakuza dudes. I guess you could say you can see their tats and stuff. So the ones that you can see what's going on, they look like Yakuza guys, like a stereotypical Yakuza guy. But they're all carrying swords, like big ass swords on their back. One guy's carrying like a clay pottery elephant. So it's just like like a piggy bank size.
Right.
Shape of an elephant. It's just like clay pottery elephant.
I'm excited to see what he does with that.
You knew if I brought it up.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
Happen.
I figured.
Yeah. So they're like, who are these people? What's going like? So they showed up right behind Ochita and Hizo, and they see Ochita and Hizo in there, and they're like, well, who the hell are these people? Like, what's going on? And they're like, they're just probably 2-bit crooks. They don't know what's going on. We're just going to get in behind them or whatever. We don't have to kill him, because one of the guys was like, we get to kill him, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
They were psyched about it. So they're in there. They're arguing Ochita's arguing with Hizo over not wanting to crack the safe, basically. She was like, I don't get paid enough, whatever. So then he started speaking in straight Japanese, so the American guys couldn't understand. He told her how much he was going to get. And I think he said $10 million they would split. Yeah, they were going to split $10 million.
Between him and her?
Just him and her, yeah,
nice.
And so she turns right around and she comes back and cracks the lock like instantly. She's really good at it. She's not just like twisting. She's got like a little machine and she's like cracking code. And
thought she like touched it somewhere.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's like realistic at least.
Yeah.
So they're in there. They just opened a cabinet and there's a badass sword in it. Hizzo was like, yeah, I have an American buyer for the sword already. That's how I know how much we're going to get. Because the other people were like, why are we getting a sword? What's the deal with the sword? He's like, I have the buyer lined up already. $10 million, whatever. He explains it. And as they're about to grab...
payday.
Right, oh, my God. As they're like about to grab the sword, a blue like portal opens up next to him, basically. And one of the American guy goes, hey, what's this? And he walks over to touch it. And out of the portal jumps the ugliest gremlin dinosaur hybrid you've ever seen. Like, if you want to come over here and look at, I kind of want you to.
All right, hold on.
Look at this thing.
Oh, what am I looking at?
So that's it. It's head and face, and it just bit this dude's head off. That's its arm, and it's like coming out of the portal right now.
Oh, is it standing up?
No, it's not even all the way out of the portal yet.
Oh, okay.
It's like phasing into our reality.
And immediately bit someone. That's
yeah, exactly. So we don't know exactly what's going on yet. They haven't like filled us in on exactly what's happening.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Who died? Was it one of the
Americans?
Okay,
just one of the Americans.
Good.
Yeah, they showed up 5 pages ago, and they're about to leave here. So,
right.
So the first guy gets his head bit off and starts being eaten. As he's being eaten, more they're demons come out of the portal. They all look different
because of the title.
Yeah, right. That was a big secret. Yeah. No one was gonna know until this part.
Mm-hmm.
So
they saved it.
Some of the demons look like what are they called? The Cenobites or Cenobites. Thank you. Some of them look like Cenobites. Some of them look more bestial, like that one.
Oh, okay.
But
never seen him.
Never seen a Cenobite? You knew the name and you never seen
I knew the name, yeah.
How did... Okay. Thank you.
You got weird info up here.
Yeah, holy shit. Thank you.
But I've never seen it.
So, just a few step out. Some of them look like Cenobites. Some of them look more bestial, whatever.
Okay.
And the other American guy's like... He knew that was his friend that got eaten. So he was like, fuck this. And he pulls his gun out immediately and starts blasting these demons. And at first I was like, hell yeah. And then I remembered they were in Japan. And I was like, this dude has a gun in Japan, bro? Yeah. That's crazy. And so he's just like lighting up the Cenobite. And the Cenobite just walks through the bullets. It doesn't matter.
Oh, it doesn't do anything?
Nothing. He gets up to the other American guy and just shoves his thumbs through his like eye sockets. It's pretty cool.
Damn, that's fucked.
So like
they just showed up, bro.
Ochita basically just woke up from a stupor.
Yeah.
So Hizzo is looking at these demons eating his muscle, and he yells at Ochita, "We got to get the hell out of here. We're gonna get eaten, whatever." And Ochita's like kind of a badass. She's like, I'm not gonna go down without a fight. So she reaches in and grabs the sword out of the case that they were stealing. And as soon as she grabs the sword, literally like within a second, there's like tassels hanging off the butt of the sword or the hilt or grip or whatever, bottom of the grip, that look like twisted, knotted rope, kind of.
Okay,
They're
cool.
real rough. Yeah. And as soon as she grabs the sword, they come alive and completely wrap around her wrist and then bury themselves into her arm immediately. Like within... It's like one panel, basically, in between. It looks pretty painful. She's, like, talking about how it doesn't hurt, but it looks like it should hurt.
Right.
So she's talking about how it doesn't hurt at all. And they're both about to be eaten by the demons because all she did was grab the sword, and it grabbed onto her. She didn't, do anything cool. Yeah. So Hizzo's like, oh, we're going to die. This is it. And then all of a sudden, a giant circle explodes in the demon, and those Yakuza guys that showed up earlier are there, and they start whooping up on the demons.
Sweet fucking time, bro.
Yeah, no, they were watching.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were watching. So they all start kind of whooping up on the demons, and more demons start coming out of the portal. More demons start. So we get a shot of like the demon world, and it's probably like the shot's probably supposed to be like 100 yards back from the portal, and then you can just see at a wide angle that it's just solid demons like about to walk through the portal.
Oh, just
like endless.
Legion?
Yes.
Endless Legion?
We are Legion, for sure.
Damn.
So that was really cool. That's like the last panel of the first comic, which is awesome.
That's cool. It's coming from one place.
Yeah. So we learn a good bit about this other realm, actually.
No shit.
We
Okay.
learn that there is a guy named Dodo Meki. He's like a wizard, demon wizard, basically. And he's the one that was able to open the portal and let the other demons through. So he's like second in charge, basically. So the number one guy in charge is Guy Kotsu. He is was the lieutenant of the actual big boss that they used to have. So the throne is actually vacant at this time in the demon world. Their big boss, his name is Rakt Naga, Raktnaga. So it's 2 words.
Yeah.
He's gone. They're trying to resurrect him. That's the Dodomeki and Gaigatsu.
That's their plan?
Yeah, they're trying to bring the boss back.
Bring him
basically.
back.
Yeah, and they're both very loyal to him.
I was gonna say,
they don't
that's
even
loyal
sit in
shit.
the. I don't think the dude even sits in the throne.
They wouldn't.
The guy Katsu guy, the number 2.
Yeah.
It never shows him sitting in the throne. So, like I said, there was just like Legion started coming through the portal, and so all the Yakuza guys are standing there, and they start fighting this just wall of demons.
Yeah.
And they all have their own little thing. One guy summons just like a pumpkin. No, I would say a Halloween demon.
Okay.
So his face is like orange and it's painted kind of like Day of the Dead. He's got like a long like cape. Like, oh my goodness, it's so crazy looking.
Is it the Headless Horseman?
No, not at all. He's
Okay.
very much has a lot of head. It's bright orange,
nice.
and I'm pretty obvious.
A lot of head is nice.
So that's one of the Yakuza guys' deal. Another one just has like armor that can't be messed up.
Oh, cool.
So they all have their own little deal.
I've written a character like that.
Yeah. So Ochida and Hizo are escaping now. They finally got a moment.
Oh, well, yeah. These dudes took over.
Exactly. They were about to be eaten. They saved them. They're running away. So one of the Yakuza guys, his name is Tatsuya. He is actually the big boss, the big Yakuza boss's son. 2 of these fighting Yakuza guys are the big boss's son. The other son's name is Michi. So this guy, Tatsuya, is the older son, and he is mute. He can no longer speak. He was the one carrying the ceramic elephant.
Yeah.
So like he grabs Hizo and Ochida and keeps them from leaving because they didn't notice that there was more demons coming that way. So he basically saved them.
Okay.
So he saved them. He stepped in front of them. He put his cute little ceramic elephant on the ground. He stepped back, never saying anything. He doesn't even make noises or anything. He cuts his hand really deeply and spreads a big chunk of blood on top of the ceramic elephant. I get instantly, it turns into a 40-foot tall zombie mammoth. So
cool.
It's not a demon, but like a real zombie mammoth. They don't explain it at all.
Nice.
But it literally, its ribs are showing. It's like got holes in its fur and stuff, and it's way bigger than any mammoth was in real life.
Oh, really? That's fucking huge.
A lot, dude. It looks like an elephant from Lord of the Rings.
Oliphant.
Size, what is that? What it is? Oliphant. You're
Oliphant.
right. You're right.
It's Oliphant.
Oliphant. Yeah. So he just Tatsuya just stands back, and it just starts absolutely rampaging, just completely rampaging through all. They're just like you said, Legion
huge.
zombies.
Oh, nice! It's just stomping them.
Yeah, so it's clearing
that's cool.
a path for them to get away, basically, because the other Yakuza guys are fighting back the other way. Whatever.
He's like, grab on. They're like, ew.
No,
what?
I don't want to. It smell.
You don't run the bones.
Because it's definitely physical. It's not just like that's a ghost elephant or something.
Right.
You can tell it's like furry.
So you could grab onto
You
it.
really could, but it looks disgusting. So it like mushes all the demons out there and then starts eating them. Like just straight up eating them. And then when you see Tatsuya is going, he's chewing himself. So I think he's making it. Or he's being influenced by it. I don't know, one or the other.
Like he's miming it?
I thought he was like puppeting it by chewing, but then I was like, maybe
But he's not walking.
No, exactly. And then I was like, maybe he's actually getting feedback from the elephant, and it's making him chomp.
Oh, maybe
because it is chomping.
Oh, maybe he's getting the food.
Little feedback loop or something. So it doesn't really come up as a big thing later, so I'll explain it now. So they explain Tatsuya's thing more than anybody else's. So what happened was when he was younger, he had to make a decision and take on a role of the family to be the master of this elephant. But every single time he cuts his hand and manifests the elephant, it's so silly they make a big deal about it. He loses some life off his life expectancy. How long do you think each time he gets taken off?
Oh, man.
He manifests it. What would worry you? Like, make you worried?
Like a year plus?
1 hour.
Oh, 1 hour?
What? They make a big deal out of it. He doesn't
That's
do
not-
it all the time.
Yeah.
He only does it every once in a while.
That's not bad at all.
That's a hell of a deal.
Yeah, really.
I've traded way more hours than that for smoking cigarettes. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, probably.
Living in Houston, breathing in those chemical airs, I've traded way more hours than that.
For sure. Definitely.
So, like, I thought that was funny. Like,
An hour, yeah. I was like, a year would be worrisome.
Yes.
Like, oh, shit, I can't do that.
So, like, it's kind of the same idea as Monster Girl from Invincible. Like, oh, she gets younger each time, so you have to be conservative with how you use it.
Yeah.
So I thought they were going to be like, oh, he loses 20 months, more than a year, something.
Yeah.
Oh, and I lose an hour with my brother each time.
Who gives a fuck?
They don't do it all the time.
I could use it 3 times in a day and not worry about that.
Exactly. I thought it was funny. But,
yeah, a year is crazy. Yeah, 1 day even isn't even all that bad. 1 hour?
That's not
That's
really
nothing.
much.
Not much, man.
Okay, so the Yakuza saved Hizo and Ochita. They take them back to their base. They have a giant tower that they own completely, and it's got their Yakuza family name on the side, which is a real thing. They really do.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ochita's knocked out. She's completely got messed up by the sword. She's unconscious.
Oh yeah.
So they take her into
and the heroin.
Yeah, so she's
That
having
too.
a hell of a day.
Yeah, really.
Hell of a day. So they bring her to their doctor, and the boss man talks to the doctor, and he goes, "Hey, you're going to need to chop that arm off so we can get that sword, whatever." And she's like, "I don't really want to do that." He goes, "Do I have to remind you why you even work here? Your husband's debts you owe us." So it's not even her debts. She's taking on this responsibility for her husband's debts. Oh. She's like, "All right, fine, I'll do it." And she's about to start chopping Ochita's arm off, and she's still passed out. The sword wakes up, basically, and then chops the nurse or the doctor's arm straight off.
Oh.
But it was about to touch her arm to start to chop the big sword off.
Basically defended itself.
Yeah, so she's not even awake really.
Yeah.
The sword woke up, and then after a second, she starts to oh no, that doesn't happen here. I thought she started coming to here, but no, it's literally just the sword doing it. And one of the Yakuza guys talks to the doctor, and he goes, "Consider your husband's debt paid, doctor." She just got her arm chopped off.
Right, yeah.
So at least she got let out of the deal.
Yeah, we're good now.
Yeah,
I got to watch it.
I was
too.
half thinking she was going to say thank you or something, but no, they didn't do that. So we finally get to meet the head Yakuza boss. There's actually 4 Yakuza families that all deal with monster demon shit. Mm. The other Yakuza families besides them have nothing to do with monsters. They actually don't even know demons and monsters.
Mob shit.
Yeah, they're just normal. But these 4... it doesn't matter. I can probably not even be able to pronounce all their names. But the main one is Wakahisa? Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to spell it. Wakahisa.
Yeah.
No clue.
Wakahisa.
Yeah, but that's the main guy who runs the main part of the monster Yakuza. He is the tip of the spear. They're the ones that... we're on ground zero. The original door opening to hell happened right there, and they're the main ones that deal with the demons coming through. The other companies make money and help them do this and find relics for them, but they're the tip of the spear. They're the ones that actually deal with when the demons come through.
Yeah, otherworldly.
Yeah,
that's
so
cool.
those 4 Yakuza guys that all have powers and do the special stuff. They're the main guys. There's other people that do stuff, but they're the ones that deal with the incursions, I think they call them, when demons come through. So Ochita finally wakes up, and she's like, "I want to get out of here." And Hizo's like, "I want to get out of here." And at first they're keeping them from leaving, and they're like, "No, let them leave. It's okay." So they start to leave, and they're walking, and Ochita walks through the door first, and the door slams shut. And Hizo's like, "Oh, no." He goes, "I'm dead," or something. He goes, "This is really bad." So he's just expecting to be killed. He's not. He's fine. They don't want to do that. So what they're doing is they're putting Ochita in forced rehab right now. So remember, she was a heroin addict. And now the sword is bonded to her, and they can't get the sword off, which means now the Wakahisa guy, the main Yakuza boss, needs her. Yep. He didn't need her before.
It's going to be his little soldier or something.
Yeah, exactly. So he's like,
clean.
I can't have her on drugs. If we're going to use her, she has to be clean. So he tells her right away, hi, I'm Wakahisa or whatever, and tells her what's going on. He goes, you're going to be a part of us. You can't be separated from that sword, so we need you sober. Yeah. You're going to be locked in this room for 7 days, and you're going to have to do your withdrawals and whatnot in here, like stuck in this room, basically. I don't know if they give her medicine. Obviously, they give her food. I don't know the whole deal. But there's only a few panels that show her just kind of going crazy for the 7 days. And then they finally open the door, and the main Yakuza boss guy rolls in, and you see that he has no legs at all, and he's in a wheelchair. And then Hizo comes in right next to him. So the boss was smart enough to bring Hizo back. Right. Because they let him go. They were like, hey, you need to come back to see your friend or whatever.
Yeah, come that back way, in 7 days.
Yeah, exactly. So that way they're like, oh, she's not going to immediately attack me. I have her friend with me, whatever.
Yeah, and they know about the sword, too, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. So this is where they actually explain how the demons got in. Yakuza boss tells Ochita the story. So it was a amateur warlock is what they call him. He was living in tunnels under Yakuza territory where like a bunch of homeless people and whatnot live. He wanted to create a portal to riches, kind of, is what he thought he was doing. So he made some magic chalk. So in this story, the magic chalk is insanely crucial, but they don't hardly explain nothing about it, just that this amateur wizard or whatever was the one that created it. So he draws a door with his magic chalk that he created, and he thinks he's going to walk into like a bank vault or something. Yeah. And obviously just a bajillion demons come out and start and start like coming into the world.
They're just always just chilling ass to elbows in there, just waiting to come out.
You know, it actually shows it. Does it show the inside real quick? Well, when they're dragging him back, there's not actually that many in there. It's showing. But because they were like gathered for the invasion earlier or whatever. But whatever, that's totally does not matter. So this is where Ochita learns, those were what those demons were. She learns about the Yakuza families, the 4 Yakuza families uniting to help fight against the demons and keep it secret. So like one of the main things that they did was they searched the entire planet for enchanted weapons. Yeah. Remember I said the guy had the armor that was like invincible. The guy had the elephant thing. They have a whole room of that. Just an entire armory. Just so much weapons, dude. It looks cool. And that becomes...
It'd be cool. It feels like the wands where it picks you. Like you go in.
Right.
And you're like, really? These spiked nunchucks?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Not what I would pick.
But yeah, it becomes your weapon. It's all dope and bad.
That's cool.
That would be cool.
But they have like armor and like bow. Just everything old school. There's no like machine guns or nothing.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
No. So we get a little time jump, and Ochita has been living and working in the Yakuza Tower for 1 year. They said it took her a while to get used to how gnarly the demons were, just like anybody would. But once she got over that, she was her improvement was impressive, was the exact words. Yeah. So
badass demon slayer now.
The Wakahisa guy goes to the other Yakuza families. They have a meeting. He goes, "All right, this is our new chick, Ochita." And he explains about her, and they're like, "Yeah, we already know, whatever." And he's like, "Well, we're gonna bring her into the Yakuza." And they're like, what? They were like, woman first
She's
of all.
She's a woman.
Yeah, woman first of all. And they constantly are saying the drug thing. And he was like, she's been sober for a year or whatever. Yeah. Whatever. But they bring that up a million times.
She gets high on killing demons now.
So, like, they're arguing about the drug thing. And one of the Go-To is the name of the annoying mob boss. Or not, another Yakuza boss. And he's like, bitching about her being on drugs, and then the Wakahashi guy goes, "You know what? You know where she used to get her drugs?" And he was like, "Well, why would I know?" And he goes, "Well, it's because the turf that you sell all your drugs on and whatnot. So I mean, you're just yeah, that was you, dog." Yeah. And so they're all arguing about, no, we're not going to accept or whatever. And he goes, Yubitsumi, which means the finger shortening, and he makes that other boss dude chop part of his finger off in repayment for her getting addicted to drugs.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, he's like, that was your fault. You're bitching about it, whatever. You're losing your little bit of your finger, or whatever.
Also, I'm pretty sure she could just pop in this room and like murk us all
if she wanted to.
I mean, I don't know how badass she is with that sword, but I'm assuming it's pretty badass.
Yeah,
she might be able to murk them all. So yeah,
she
just
would've.
fucking let us bring her in, bro.
Yeah, it makes complete sense. But all of them were being dicks, but the one guy was being way more of a dick.
Got his finger cut off.
So, like I said, it's been about a year, and Hizo hasn't seen Ochita since that she got released from the rehab room, basically, or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he's just walking through town, and she pops up. Ochita pops up, and she's like well dressed, and her hair's done, and she's holding a big box that looks like flowers. And I was at first when I saw that, I was like, "That's weird." And then I was like, "That's not weird. She has a sword attached to her arm."
I was just thinking, does it disappear?
No,
Does she have to hold it?
It always sticks out.
Oh, that sucks.
It doesn't go away.
In her right hand?
I think it's actually her left hand, if I remember correctly.
Oh,
I'm sure they put in it. They had to have put it in her right. It is her right.
Oh,
just
see,
in that
sucks.
one picture.
Going to the bathroom, bro. Eating.
What if you forget?
You got a giant sword.
So,
go to scratch your face at night.
Yes, you just die.
The sword like wakes up and moves.
I guess it would. It protects itself.
Right, so it'd be like, I can't kill you because then I lose my health.
Yeah.
That's funny though, bro.
So Ochita walks up on Hizo and he's all surprised and being like, "What the? I haven't seen you, whatever."
Yeah, right.
She's like, "I've been training. I can't leave, and they're actually going to accept me into the Yakuza. I want you to come to my ceremony and celebrate with me."
Let's party.
Yeah, and he was like, "I don't know, man. That's crazy, whatever." He goes, "I'll think about it. Give me your number, whatever, and I'll think about it." I skipped a little bit of the demon stuff because I told you all about the demon stuff already. So the next time we see Ochita is like the night of her initiation or whatever.
Okay.
And she's getting dressed, and we get to see what her sword arm looks like now. Mm-hmm. You know, like I said, it was kind of just like in her wrist and like forearm before, and it actually kind of looked cool because it was just like 7 strands that like were thick and they wrapped around her arm, and at first it was kind of like appeasing to the eye. Well, now they show what it looks like, and it's all grown all the way up past her shoulder and is actually coming onto her chest now, and it no longer looks like strands of rope or whatever. It looks like ancient demon flesh, basically, that's just gross and like pink, and it's way different color than the rest of her skin, and it's just like just really sloppy. It's like dripping. Oh, it looks gross, bro.
The fuck?
And she's like like I said, she's getting dressed ready for her initiation ceremony or whatever. And her little helper is like, "Oh, you're dressed and everything. You're so beautiful, whatever." And she's looking in the mirror, and that's when we get to see what she looks like. She's like, "I don't feel beautiful."
Yeah.
And like it's that. Because it doesn't really come up later, but I was like, "That's cool." Like that's for sure how it would go.
Oh right.
Because at first, when
giant dripping pink arm,
you got all this power at first, and it's really not that bad of a deal, and then it just gets worse.
You're turning into something.
She has her initiation ceremony. The Wakahisa guy presents her with the finger. And he goes, "This is the finger of the man that got you addicted to drugs. It is a symbol of 2 things: of his regret or sorry, something like that, and your new life, your transition into your new life with your new family, whatever.
Gotta admit, that's pretty gangster, bro.
I thought it was awesome. That's the only thing they show.
Gave her the finger, bro. That's pretty gangster.
It's the only thing they show. And he was like a boss. He was either an underboss or one of the other Yakuza bosses. He wasn't a low-level guy.
Yeah.
So, like, that's
pretty cool.
It's good. So they have their ceremony at the tower because everything they do is in their giant business tower. Mm-hmm. And then they go out to celebrate after. This is to
a different part of their tower.
What Hizo was Rizzo, she always calls him Rizzo, it was invited to because he couldn't go to the actual initiation thing.
Oh, right.
So he shows up. He like walks in and he sees her sitting around with all the Yakuza guys. He gets like 5 feet in the door and he was like, "Nope, this was a bad idea." He turns right around. And she follows after him, and they have like a heart-to-heart / screaming match where she's like, you were supposed to be looking out for me, but you never stopped me from doing drugs, this and that. And she's like, I only invited you here so I could tell you that and tell you that I don't want to see you anymore. Oh, something like that. And I was like, oh, shit. I was like, this is a four-issue series called Yakuza Demon Killers. Like, don't make me feel feelings and stuff. Stop. Don't do that.
That's rough. That's some resentment, bro.
Yeah. She held on.
She been harboring that, yeah.
And you hate somebody more like that is because you actually love them too.
Right.
So it makes everything worse. Mm-hmm. So like as they're like arguing in the back, the Yakuza guys pop out and they're like, hey, there's a problem right down the street. We need to run right down the street and take care of this. So they get out there and the main big bad guy, the guy Katsu, the like second in charge, showed up with some other acolytes. So not as many demons as before, but he shows up. And the Yakuza guys, everybody runs over there to help or to take him out. As they're fighting, Ochita is just kind of in the background. She's really not doing anything. And that wizard guy, the Dodomeki guy I talked about earlier, he sneaks up onto her and chunks some green, like acid-looking shit into her face. She's like, ah! She's screaming, but just kind of passes out. Hizo's still there, so he's trying to take care of her. And he sees these demons like standing over the top of her that just splashed her face with acid, as far as he knows, poison, whatever. They just stand there. They don't go to attack him or do anything. They just kind of back up and hang out. They're just chilling, watching what's going on.
Hey, we did our job, right?
Yeah.
Is that all we were doing?
So the main son, the Tatsuya, he unleashes the zombie mammoth.
Nice.
To help fight because they're not having any luck against the powerful Gaikatsu guy or whatever. Because he's, like I said, he's like literally number 2.
Yeah, second in charge. He's got to be a badass.
He's way bigger than the rest of them. He's wearing clothes, actually. So that's lets you in on
no
secret.
armor.
Yeah. So they show what's going on with Ochita now. She's like in a blank white liminal space where there's like nothing around. It's just like everything forever. And then slowly...
Infinite.
Yeah, she sees a mask, her face on the floor as a mask. So she starts crawling over to it with a actual nothing on her real face and her like real face on the ground, and she as a mask. She's about to grab it, and as she's grabbing it, a like gross ass foot with like 3-inch long toenails, and not claws and talons, just like old man nasty hasn't cut their toenails guy. And he starts chanting some evil BS, you know what I mean? As she's getting scared and she's backing up, and he crushes her face that was on the ground, and then she starts chanting, and then you see what her face looks like, and she doesn't have eyes or a nose. It's just a giant like open jaw lower, and she starts saying the Racked Naga guy's name, and then what happens is, because they explain it right here, he possesses her right now, possesses her body. That was the point. Whoever had that sword, if they held it long enough and they got the acid stuff thrown on them, they could go to the world where Rack Naga was, and he could possess their body.
Okay.
So that's what they're, I told you earlier, they wanted to bring their Rack Naga guy back, and they figured out how to do it. Mm-hmm. And so they went and achieved it. Hizo is like over, and she starts waking up, and she like knocks him out immediately, and he like leaves the scene for a second, meaning he's just out of the story for a second.
Yeah. And
now we see Ochita talking as the Rocked Naga guy. She's totally taken over. So the Gaikatsu, second in command, is like kneeling to him and telling him how they got him back and all this stuff. And as that's happening, the Tatsuya guy with the zombie mammoth sends the zombie mammoth at Ochita, because Ochita and the Gaikatsu. So they were trying to get the Gaikatsu guy because they didn't know Ochita was possessed yet. So as the zombie mammoth is rushing towards both of them, Ochita, as Rock Naga, jumps up with her sword arm and completely kills the zombie elephant instantly.
Yeah.
Like, there was armies of demons earlier trying to kill the elephant, didn't get a scratch. Or you couldn't tell because it was already a zombie. She instantly murks this thing. Like, it didn't even get over to her.
Damn.
Basically. And then we cut back. And like I said, the one brother's name is Michi, and the other one's Tatsuya. They're both sons of the main Yakuza boss. Well, the Michi guy looks over at Tatsuya, and he instantly starts just like Raiders of the Lost Ark, where he like melts and like gets. No, the one with where the guy gets old. Not the
Temple of Doom.
Yeah,
He gets old. Yeah.
Yeah, that one or whatever. Where he gets.
No. Last Crusade. Sorry.
Thank you. Yeah, I couldn't think of it.
Yeah, he gets
either.
old there.
Last Crusade. Yes, that one. It's just like that. He has a chance to say he loves his brother before he withers away. And his brother, Michi, is obviously like, no, fuck this, and gets super mad. And he rushes Ochita and gets just his arm chopped off. She actually doesn't even like take the time to kill him all the way. She just chops his arm off and makes fun of him for a second. And then the guy that was wearing the armor earlier, they kept calling him Baldy. That's not his real name, obviously. But he has, like, enchanted armor. Right. So he's rushing at Ochita because he's like, I got enchanted armor. I'll be all right. And she, like, cuts around his armor, basically, because there's tiny little gaps in the joints. So the actual armor is completely, like, impenetrable. But all the tiny little gaps weren't. So she just absolutely just decimates him with her sword.
That's crazy, yeah.
And we find out that armor used to belong to one of her, like her third in command or something. Her third in command used to use that armor.
You mean Naga's third in command?
Yeah. I thought, I was like, oh, it's a demon or whatever. I was like, well, wait, I don't understand. It's not. You're not a demon. What happens is he's not wearing a helmet, so his armor's not complete. He's actually not wearing the full armor. She goes, you're missing the most important part. And he's like, I'm not scared to die. I'm like, kill me. I don't care. And she was like, yeah, that's not what's going to happen. And then we see the helmet. It's like a giant iron helmet coming down. And you see inside of it, and it's like just spikes. All poking in. So they shove and slam the helmet all the way down and then you see his eyes turn from human eyes to like red, like puppet eyes, basically. She's like, you're gonna have to serve me now. And that was the point of the armor. Not that a demon used it, but she could make humans into super puppets, basically. So I'm like, damn, dude, this is getting awesome. Like,
this Naga dude's no joke.
Yeah, and then I remembered this was only 4 issues, and we're like most of the way through the 4th issue right now. So I was like, damn, what happened? Then this is when I thought it didn't finish for a second.
Oh, yeah, I remember you telling me
I mentioned that to you for 1 second. I was like, man, for a second I thought it didn't finish. I didn't. I thought it really wasn't going to finish. All right, so let me get to the culmination here. So she basically lets the Yakuza guys that lived and whatnot leave, like just run away. She's like, they can't do anything to me. Mm-hmm. Like, so she's like, she feels like she's so superior, or he feels like he's so superior. He doesn't have to worry about anyone or anything. Right. So what he wants, he knows that there's a weird feeling inside the giant business tower, the Yakuza business tower. Right, he's like, there's something in there I need. I feel it. I want it. The Rock Naga guy. And his lieutenant, the Gaikatsu guy, was like, well, they have wards. You can't go in because they have wards against demons. And she goes, remember, I'm in a human body. I'm not a demon anymore. So she just walks straight into the building, whereas none of the other ones can. She finds shrine room where there is a little tiny shrine that is used to keep all the other demons out, but that's also the armory room with all the enchanted weapons.
I thought that's where he was going.
So the main Wakahisa guy, the main Yakuza boss, the dad of the younger two, he like makes this last stand in there, and like I said, he can't walk. He don't even have an electric wheelchair. He's got a regular wheelchair, and he like is using like some demon killing staff or something. Cool. And I'm sure if she was just a demon or he was just a demon, it would have murked him.
Might have done it,
but it didn't. He's like, I'm gonna kill you for my son, whatever. And she like knocks it actually looks kind of like a trident out of his hands and is like telling him, this is all your fault. Do you know that? And he was like, what? And she goes, all these enchanted weapons were supposed to be spread out across the world. That way, when I showed up, all the heroes from around the world could have their enchanted weapons and learn to use them and blah, blah, blah. You gathered them all in one room for me and don't have people using them except for those 4 guys over there or whatever.
Shit, yeah.
And she goes, you fucked up royally, bro.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, fine, kill me. And she goes, no, actually, I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to make sure you live so you stay around and see what I make this world. So she's doing that, like, deep fucked up stuff.
Yeah.
So this part, I was going to say it's not great, but it's fine. It's not a big deal. Hizo walks in the room. He woke up from outside.
I was waiting on him.
He finally woke up, walked inside, went upstairs, and he still thinks it's Ochita, and he fully apologizes and admits that he should have and could have got her to stop drugs and whatnot. He admits that like he kind of feels like they're family, blah blah blah, and like fully apologizes and walks over and is like, I want to help you. Let me help you. And he walks over to her and she just murks him like straight through the stomach, pretty much with her awesome sword arm.
Yeah.
And then he dies. He actually dies.
That's rough.
He did get to say what he needed to say, even though I don't know if she heard it.
Yes, because it's not her. It's Naga like Thanos. Like, I don't even know who you are.
Right. And so as soon as she kills him, she walks over to the little shrine that keeps the place safe, and she crushes it. Mm-hmm. She crushes it immediately, and then the next panel is just like 20 demon feet walking past Hizo's body. And I was like, I thought that was going to be the exact end. And I was like, oh, that's all right, fine. But then it popped up 1 year later, Tokyo. I was like, thank God. I really didn't want that to actually be the actual end, because I knew it was going to be short. So we pick up with Tokyo being, Jesus Christ, worse than any apocalypse maybe Age of Apocalypse or something. Right. There's just heads on spikes everywhere. There's demons just constantly running around. So we pick up with some hooded characters running from a bunch of demons, killing some of them, getting away, and then we find out one of them is Michi, and one of the other guys is another one of the young Yakuza guys that live, and then we see the asshole that got his finger chopped off, one of the other bosses. I think it was Goto, maybe. We see him. He's still alive. So Michi was the one that got his arm chopped off. Yep. He's got a robot arm on now. Cool. Or maybe just a enchanted, I'm not sure. But he's got a cool robot arm. Yeah. And so they take off their hoods. We find out who they are. And he goes, Rock Naga is going to come here right now, and he's going to kill us because he knows who we are now. We did our magic or did whatever. So we need to leave. And then you see that they each have a different color of magic chalk. And the demons, the amount of chalk that they had was like an actual small stick of chalk. And they had to conserve it because when you used it, it went away or whatever. They've got giant art, just huge chunks of chalk that looks like it last them forever. And they make a bunch of doors and they deuce out to wherever. So they have complete control over their chalk doors.
Yeah, it seems
it doesn't go to the demon world. It takes them to wherever part of our world they want to go. So there was a demon in the background watching that they didn't kill. He goes to Rock Naga and explains that he saw Michi and all of them. This is the last page. Useless. Send my army after them, Gaikutsu. Find them, kill them, and bring me their heads. And so you see her throne that Gaikatsu wouldn't sit in. It's now been brought to Tokyo, and it's in the middle of Shibuya Crossing, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Shibuya Crossing. I think it's the most busy crossing in the entire foot traffic in the entire world, and her throne is out in the middle of that. And we see on a chain the Wakahisa guy, the old guy that fucked everything up. Yeah. He's on a chain sitting there still. So she didn't kill him. She kept her word. The guy that she shoved the helmet on that used to be a cool Yakuza guy, he's in the background being her lackey. The Gaikatsu guy's still there. The Dodomeki wizard type guy there. And the other main demon that they keep showing that kind of looks like one of the Cenobites, he's still there. And then in the background on all the buildings, she's just got demons just cheering for her and stuff. And then it says the end for now. But this came out in 2016. And
there's nothing.
Yeah, but that's a fine ending.
That's crazy.
Gave me more than I thought it was going to.
It's definitive. She's running shit.
So I didn't do How Are the Faces. That would be maybe the only thing I could say negative about it is they weren't awesome. They weren't terrible, but they definitely the rest of the art was better than the faces.
Yeah, how was the art? The art was cool.
I really enjoyed the art a lot.
A little bit I saw seemed cool.
Yeah, it's not a ton of colors. Usually, I think it's 4 or 5 a panel usually, but then they do some that are more. But just the art in general is really good. It's not super detailed or nothing, but everything's conveyed well. The darks and the lights look well together. All of it looks good except for the faces not being super good.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, dude. Well, that's yours was pretty rad, man.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. All right, so I found this one called North Wind. It is a Boom Studios. Okay. Yeah, Boom Studios. Came out in 2007. Dave DiGilio and Alex Cow. I said I had weird names, but I guess I remembered them. I read all the other ones, and there's some. No, that wasn't bad at all. Dave DiGilio. All right, so a long time ago, this is what has been spoken. This is a narrator throughout the entire thing. Basically, like someone telling a story, like outside perspective, and they're talking about. This is what's been spoken a long time ago was the time of fire. We can assume that was like us.
Okay.
It shows soldiers. And then it began to melt. And now the whole world is like super cold. So everyone went to the equator, but swelling masses. Apparently people just kept on fucking.
Right.
So,
we
totally would.
Yeah.
And they went crazy over the small space. So they blew each other up basically. So there's not too many people left. And the whole world is frozen. It shows the Hollywood sign. Just absolutely covered in snow and ice. So it says year of the North Wind 207. So in the little blurb on the back, it said 2 centuries. So it has been frozen for 200 years.
Oh, okay.
And it's funny, you could hear it in the way they talk, where they're like, the before time, the ancients.
Yeah.
And they're like, your ancients brought the North Wind. So that's what froze the world was the North Wind.
Gotcha.
That's what they call it. So they're in Los Angeles, Lost, Lost,
cool.
Right? So it kicks off with this kid. His name is Pac, P-A-K, Pac, and this girl, Schuler. Yeah, Schuler. They're out hunting outside of their village. They're up on the surface. They're about to kill a seal. Dude, I always do that. And then he's like, I'm going to get a skin. I'm going to go sell it at market. And she's like, you're too young to go to market. This is boring, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you spooked them all off with your words. So this white tiger attacks. And they're just like, oh, shit. Like, they take off. She says mother, and he goes, nature. So instead of mother, they were like, mother, nature.
Makes sense.
It's cool. They actually, someone else says it later. They're like, Mother Nature.
That's cool.
I thought it was funny. So they haul ass. They get into a cave. The tiger's about to attack. He's about to shoot it, and this guy rolls up on this big white buffalo. You don't ever find out his name. He's a skin runner. They call him Skin Runner.
All right.
So he pulls out this flaming star. It's just like a chain with a ball on the end of it that he sets fire to.
Yeah.
So he gets the tiger distracted, and he tells the kid, he's like, bring your weapon, boy. He's like, this is your kill. Get him. So he shoots him in the chest, so he actually kills the tiger. So they roll back to the outcast village. Now, that's what these people are called. There's like another group of people called scavengers. And these are the outcasts. They live on the surface. The scavengers live underground.
Okay.
So they went into like buildings. It's like in the city. They're in the subway.
Oh,
underground.
Yeah, it's cold as hell.
Yep.
Yeah.
They said it's like 38 degrees.
All the time, basically?
No, inside.
Oh, god damn, bro.
Like, they're like, you could go out there where it's cold, or you could stay in here where it's
nice and toasty.
Nice and toasty, 38 degrees.
If they huddled up in a small enough area, they would be warmer, but god damn.
Right. So the fuel and heat is a big part of this story, obviously. So the kids roll back. They're like, Mom, I killed a fucking tiger. I got his skin, blah, blah, blah. The skin runner runs up and is like, hey, I need to talk to your headman. Yeah, your head man, whatever. The person in charge, and she's like, that's me. He's like, listen, I told these kids I'd give them skins, because that's what he trades with. They're like, we can't trade with you. We specifically trade with Los Angeles only, the scavengers.
Oh, okay.
He was like, yeah, that's fine. I'm just here to look for like a new apprentice. My time in the cycle is almost over. They say shit like this.
Yeah.
My time in the cycle is almost over, and I need a replacement, like all things in the cycle.
Okay.
So they're like, you're not going to find it here. He's like, well, I told them I'd give them the skin, so we're not trading. Just take those. He gives her the white tiger skin. He's like, your son killed this for real.
Hell yeah.
We'll call it a draw because I helped, but yeah. So she's like, I'm sorry, we can't help you. So he deuces out. He's gone. So the leader, her name is Erin. She goes in to talk to this man named Mulligan. Mulligan is Schuler's dad, the girl.
Uh-huh.
That's her dad. So she's like, I heard there's trouble in Los Angeles. He's like, don't believe that skin runner. You can't trust them types. They're out there for so long. They get all soft in the head. She's like, well, I think we need to head to the market. So she's rolling out. They're opening the gate. And now Pac is like, hey, I killed a white tiger. I have a skin. I'm going to market.
He's psyched.
And Schuler's like, your mom won't let you. She's like, she won't know. She won't know. So he hides in the sled. Now they go to Los Angeles. They're above ground, going inside of a tunnel, and they're like, all the heat staying down in the market, you're not leaving with it. And she's like, oh, we just need to trade for a cable. And they're like, let her through. So they go in, they're underground, big old like city thing going, markets and shit everywhere.
Hell yeah.
So Pac, god damn it. Pac sneaks out, and I can hear this guy giving a speech, and he says, the edict of the knowing and powerful Slaughterhouse Joe, a cold spell has been declared, and he shuts all the heat off.
Oh.
So now no one has heat going through their homes or wherever they're staying, inside these buildings that they're chilling in too.
Yeah.
So they're all pissed. They're yelling at him. It shows Slaughterhouse Joe talking to his little lackey. His name's Wolf, and he's like, listen, man, you keep pushing this. They're going to eventually come for the people controlling the heat. And he's like, nah, they wouldn't dare. He's like, dude, the coal's gone. You know, the tar pits are empty. We're still digging for the refinery, but the engineers don't know if they're going to find it. And he's looking at Aaron, the leader of the Outcasts, and he's like, them. How come they never come to trade for heat? You notice that? They always come for this other shit, but they never want oil or gas.
Yeah.
Why is that? And he's like, I think they're hiding it from us. So he goes down there, interrupts their whole shit, and he's like, what are you hiding from me? You know we could kill you. Blah, blah, blah. So he sends his other lackey, this big jack dude with an axe, to like start messing with the men. Now Pac comes out of nowhere and pulls a gun. It's like a tiny little crossbow, basically.
Oh, cool.
So he pulls it on Slaughterhouse Joe, and he's like, you better fucking shoot me, basically. Like, hurry up. You just only get one shot. Let's do this. He's crazy. So he shoots, and he actually misses, and he threatens to feed him to this wolf guy's dogs. And now all the people, they jump in front of the kid. They're totally about to kill the kid, sick the dogs on him and everything. Oh. And the regular people are like, nah, they didn't break any laws. So they're like following his rules. Yeah. And they're immediately like, turn on the heat, dude. Like, let them go. Turn on our heat. They all start yelling. And he's like, you want to side with Outcast? They're like, they didn't do anything wrong. Blah, blah, blah. Fuck you. Yeah. So he's like, fine, let them go. They get on their sled and they bounce out. They're immediately getting chased by all these cars and weird custom vehicles on. If you haven't figured it out, it's Mad Max in the ice.
Snow, yeah.
It's Mad Max in ice.
They got a bunch of sleds instead of wheels.
They have tracks, sled, like the snow wheels. Yeah. And they have like jet skis. They have cars, big tanks on tracks like that.
Yeah, of course.
Trucks, all types of stuff. So they're chasing her. She finds out Pac is there when he pulled the gun, so she's freaking out. How could you do? I can't believe this. Get down. It's about to get crazy. So she sees that Slaughterhouse Joe breaks off, and she realizes, oh, they're going towards the village. We need to split this up. So she breaks the sled, and now Pac is just kind of sliding off on his own, and she takes off. Okay. And she's like, I'll come back for you. So Pac is walking. He about to fall into a hole. He gets caught by the skin runner. And he's like, we got to go to my village. And he's like, hell no. They're already dead. All of them. They're dead.
Right.
He's like, there's going to be an attack. He's like, listen, it already happened. You don't have a village anymore. You're coming with me. Oof. So he's like, and you need to shut up because those the scavengers, that's them. Scavengers are going to be coming by any minute now. So he remembers them. He freaks out. They're in a cave. He does this little trick where he lights his sword on fire. It looks like the sword either has a strap or like a tube coming out of it. But he lights it on fire, and then he cuts a little space in the ground. He's like, that's your bed tonight.
Nice.
So some trick where it keeps it warm, I guess.
It's not magical, but he's like, knows some shit.
Yeah, so he's about to throw a book in the fire. It's a real quick part. And he's like, what are you doing? And he's like, that's fuel. And he's like, you may not have relied on the scavengers, but you do what they do, man. This is for reading, not burning. Yeah. He's like, there's other ways to stay warm. Which he has all those skins, so I guess that's how he does it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And they mention he has like black shark, buffalo, and a couple other things.
You could layer all the skins and like be like impenetrable.
Yeah, right? Eventually, yeah, just a giant
You'd have to get used to walking around with a whole bunch of skins on.
waddling, basically. But yeah, you could
Figure it out.
deck yourself out. That's cool. So he is trying to sneak out in the night, and he takes a bunch of flares from the skin runner. He goes back to his village and just finds dead bodies everywhere. He finds Schuler's little bracelet. He finds his mom in this pile. I mean, literally, no joke, a pile of dead bodies.
Yeah, crap.
And he sees his mom holding out this medallion, and he takes it, and the skin runner's like, I fucking told you, bro.
Yeah,
Told you not to come here.
Why'd you come?
And he was like, it's all my fault. He's like, no, it's not, dude. Knock that off. And he mentioned something, what's your buffalo's name? And he's like, it's Chiron. It's from a book, the book you tried to burn, actually. And he was like, Chiron is the half man. He trained Achilles. Half man, half beast. He trained Achilles. He was like, who's Achilles? So he tells him about it. And the kid goes, are you going to train me to be a great warrior? And he goes, yeah. So it cuts to a little later, years later. He's a little older. He gives him this cool-ass tiger pelt. They said that they've traveled from the Centrals, which is like America, all the way to the land of the tiger. So I'm assuming they went from America to Japan, land of the tiger, I'm assuming, or possibly India.
Yeah.
But it's a white tiger.
China.
So yeah, I'm guessing in Asia somewhere is where he meant.
Right.
So it's been years, like I said, they've traveled. They're sitting here on this giant black shark. Apparently that's super rare stuff. He's talking about how he had to learn about the fire sword.
Yeah.
And he said, he only had revenge in his brain, that every time he trained, you could see the like hate and anger, that this was the only cut he was worried about. So it's years later now. He's turned into a man. The skin runner's dying. He's giving him shit like, where are you going after this? He's like, I'll probably go here. And he's like, you're lying. If you go kill Joe out of revenge and anger, you replace him, not me in the cycle, which again, the cycle's a big thing.
Yeah.
So he's like, don't worry, I'll replace you, but I will bring the city back to the above ground, back to the outside.
Okay.
So he's like, that's his goal. The old skid runner dies. He goes and gets Chiron, who's still alive years and years later. He rolls out and he heads home. It's a bunch of windmills. So this is how they were able to sustain themselves, I guess, with skins, and the windmills just give them light, not heat.
Okay.
But isn't it power?
That would be power, yeah.
Right. So I assume there's got to be some kind of heating they were getting done with windmills, with some kind of power,
Yeah,
right?
I would imagine something.
Has to be.
Yeah.
So it says not that long he starts returning to Lost. No, he's back in his home. So he's walking up to his house. He's looking around. He starts digging. He sees a guy working on the windmills, and he pops down and he tells him a riddle, and they start talking, and Pac realizes, he's like, I know you. So you find out this is Mulligan. This is Schuler's dad.
Yeah.
The nerdy engineer guy.
I remember.
So he gives him a skin because he lost the riddle, and these two guys come up, and they're like, hey, we're heading in. Don't be here in half an hour. We're coming back. We'll kill you if you're still here. He immediately follows them in. They go down an elevator. He sneaks down the elevator, and now he's out in the world. Or no, the two guys are about to steal Mulligan's skin from him, and he just kicks the shit out of him real quick, gives him the skin. And he's like, hey, man, if you want your skin, you can have it back. Yeah, I don't care like that. And he's like, no. He pulls out the medallion, and he goes, Pac, is that you? He's like, yeah, it's me, man. Thought you were dead. And he's like, I thought you were dead. So he's saying, I'm going to get you out of here. We're trying to escape. And he goes, I can't escape. He keeps like pushing it. He's like, you want some cream in your coffee? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, what is your deal, man? Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
He goes, okay, so Joe has my daughter, which is all he tells Pac right now.
Okay.
So he goes, where's your daughter? And he's like, she's not that hard to find. Just go look for her. Don't know why he did that.
Yeah, that's okay.
So now he's out in the little city where everyone is. People are begging for skins. He's giving skins to homeless people. They make a big announcement about this festival of lights. Now, most of this episode is the issue is the Festival of Lights.
Okay.
It's about that. It takes place for the rest of the 5 issues. There's 5 issues total, and I'm already on 3. So the next 3 issues, it takes place.
Huh.
And this was really cool. He meets a guy, and he's like, I'm looking for a woman. And he's like, of course. It's the best kind of heat. And he points to a girl, and it's this really big fat lady. And I was like, I bet you she does numbers, bro. and
She 100% does.
way below freezing. Yeah, dude. I bet she's
the most popular person in the entire community.
I bet, bro. He's like, I'll give a special price for the festival. And he's like, not that kind of woman. They get into it. He starts running away. And he's like, well, what woman are you looking for? And he said, her name's Schuler. He's like, oh, yeah, I know her. But, like, all the skins in the world couldn't buy her. And he's like, well, where is he? Where is she? He's like, if you show me that, what will you offer? He's like, I'm a skin runner, man. Like, I'll give you skin. So they go to this festival of lights. They introduce Slaughterhouse Joe. Everyone's booing. He's making jokes about, I know how much you love me, but how much do y'all hate my daughter? And now Schuler comes out. She looks like that girl from Archer, the Russian, like, white hat with the white fur.
Okay.
So she, blonde hair, too.
Uh-huh.
She comes out. Everyone's cheering. They love her. She's talking about how they found the oil refinery, and they're going to have the heat on before the end of the festival. Everyone's losing their shit. They're like, we love you. So now this festival here is they get a bear. It's an ice skating rink.
Uh-huh.
They have ice, obviously.
Yeah.
They have this platform that the bear is chained up to. Everyone gets ice skates, and they have ramps in a circle facing the bear. So these dudes are like skating around, going off the ramps and trying to kill this bear that's chained up to a pole.
Jesus Christ.
So the winner of this normally gets fuel or heat or gas. But he said this year the winner gets a private audience with my daughter. So Pac's like, I'm going to see an old friend.
Of course.
So they go out there. The bear starts fucking everyone up. It's just Wolf, his lackey, and who's still around. And, you know, Joe's way older now, so is Wolf. But it's Pac and Wolf. And Bear gets loose almost, about to kill Slaughter Joe and Shuya. Schuler. Oh my God, what's wrong with me? Schuler. Yeah, the bear's about to kill them, and he does the little flaming star trick.
Right.
Where he's about to back it in the cage, and he's like, I say hold. So he's getting the bear to back up, and then the wolf dude just comes out of nowhere and is like, yeah! And he's like, I win! Everyone starts cheering. He's like losing. He's like, I did it! It's kind of some bitch move shit right there. Pretty funny. So now Schuler is like, oh, I don't want to see Wolf. He didn't actually win. The other guy did it. He was the best today. And they're like, all right, man, we'll see what we can do. So he goes and talks to this guy that he met that showed him where Schuler was.
Yeah.
His name is Elbow. I forgot to say it.
Nice.
His name was Dimitri. He changed it to Elbow because he's one big funny bone. He's a Russian dude.
Okay.
You can tell by his, like, broken English.
Yeah.
He's like, you can hear it, the way he talks. He's telling him how good he fought, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, listen, man, there's other people that want to, get rid of Joe. You're not the only one.
Of course.
So while they're talking about this, they see a pipeline. He's like, is that the pipeline you're talking about? He's like, yeah, he's about to tap into it. Blah, blah, blah. Everyone's going to have heat. It's great. So now Wolf is pissed. He's yelling at Joe. They send guys to grab Pac. So Joe and the Wolf want to talk to Pac. Right?
Okay.
So they bring him in. They're like, listen, you're about to meet my daughter. Be respectful. If I see you looking at her anyway I don't like, I'll kill you. Blah, blah, blah. Pac makes a comment about her real dad, and he gets pissed. And he's like grabbing him, and Schuler walks out, and she's like, knock it off. Like, stop. So they go start talking, and he's like, do you remember me? He even pulls out the medallion, and he's like, look.
Oh, damn.
And she's like, I don't remember what that is. And he's like, fucking try. Like, remember.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
Put some effort.
Remember. Look at this. He's like holding it in her face. Like, look.
Yeah.
So Wolf goes and does some digging. He finds out that Achilles, which is what Pac is going by, isn't in the registry for the scavengers village city that they have. So he's like, I told you, he's a fake. He snuck in, blah, blah, blah. So Joe and all his men come in. They're like, intruder, get him. He kicks the shit out of all of them. Makes this cool escape out the window, down a hill. Finds more bad guys, kicks the shit out of them. He sees Mulligan, who's yelling the slaughterhouse. Go to the slaughterhouse. He goes to the slaughterhouse. They lose the trail there. Schuler's really messed up for the day. So now Pac is in the slaughterhouse. Sorry, they're still at the rink. Sorry.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Pac now goes to the slaughterhouse. He finds Elbow there. And he's like, what's going on? He's like, yeah, come with me. Don't mind the view. He walks through a bunch of strippers. It's a stripper club. strip club.
Nice.
So he goes in and finds these 5 dudes, and they immediately pull guns, and he puts the knife to Elbow's neck. And there he's like, dude, these were the guys I was telling you about. They want to get rid of Joe, too. Mm-hmm. Hey, guys, this is the dude I was telling you. Yeah. This fool's crazy. He's going to help us get rid of Joe. They're like, give him a bath, blah, blah, blah. So Pac's taking a bath. He gets a bunch of clothes. Basically, excuse me, it's the uniform for the oil refinery workers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like a jumpsuit or something.
Yeah, basically. Just like a red hat, certain uniform they all wear.
Oh, okay.
And Elbow said, yeah, some guy was nice enough to drop this off. But the reason you have this is because Slaughterhouse Joe and Schuler are heading to the oil refinery. It's her first visit. She's going to talk to the owners and all the people that run it, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
So they give him a key to this weird ice cycle. It's called the eye cycle. So they're like, we'll await good news, man. Good luck. So they roll out to the factory. Basically, all that happens is they're talking about, why haven't we felt any heat yet? Why isn't it running to Los Angeles? And he's like, well, there's this other line we don't think is stable, and we're afraid if we turn it on to yours, that will mess up, and it could be very bad to the point where we can't use this at all.
At all, yeah.
Basically kill us all.
Yeah.
Even.
Okay.
So he's like, get it fixed for the end of the festival. And he's like, oh, okay.
We'll try.
Schuler's all depressed. She's like, that trip to the service took a lot out of me, blah, blah, blah. Pac runs up. He takes his mask off, and he goes, this is for you. He's like, we were friends once. And she goes, Pac? So she remembers
finally.
now, and he's like, get on the cycle. I'll get you out of here. I'll help you remember everything. So she gets on, and they take off. Now, Slaughterhouse Joe yells at this dude, Bowden, to go after them. They're getting chased on their iCycles and snowmobiles. Big fight. He cuts the dude's arm off. They crash, and then he fights Bowden hand to hand. He gets the Bowden's about to kill him, and then she helps with her little dagger that she has.
Hell yeah.
And she kills Bowden. So I just say that because this next part is Slaughterhouse Joe is there. He's like, so the skid runner kidnaps my daughter, then uses Schuler's dagger, the dagger I gave her to kill Bowden. Doesn't realize that maybe she was the one who killed him.
Wouldn't even consider,
He's like, he took her dagger and killed him. That's so weird. He had that giant fucking knife on him already.
He had a burning, like, flame thing.
Fire sword.
Yeah,
which he hasn't used yet, but he does have it. But he does have a big-ass sword on him.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So didn't need her dagger at all. So they're going, what's going on? You know, who are these people? They find the medallion, and he's like, fucking outcast. He's pissed. He's like, I know exactly who they are now.
Yeah.
So he's taking Schuler home. They get there. She just has this flash of memory. She remembers everything.
Finally.
Yeah. She's like, and he's like, listen. Oh, no. She says, we need to get the hell out of here. Joe's coming for us. He's coming straight here. He knows exactly where we are. And he's like, no, he has your father. I have a plan. We're going to fight him. We're going to get your dad back, and then we'll all bring this city back to life, basically.
Yeah, because that's what he wanted to do.
That's his plan. Yeah. His plan isn't necessarily to kill Joe because of the cycle thing.
He just wants to fix shit.
Yeah, exactly. And wants his home back, really.
Yeah. Okay.
So he blows a whistle and is waiting for his bison. They know Joe's on the way. So she's like, well, let's keep warm in the meantime, and they end up smushing.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. So it cuts to way later. The bison's there. Schuler and Pac are together. They're looking through binoculars. They're like, all the bad guys are by the windmills now. They start just chunking grenades. Shit's going off. They're killing tons of people. She's like, how many are there? He's like, I don't even know. He's like, it's hard to tell with the snow, everywhere. I can't really tell. So they bust into the windmill factory where, like, the underground part.
Where it powers something.
Where they have, Joe has a bunch of men. So they bust in there, they kill a bunch of guys, and then they go find Mulligan, her dad.
Yeah, yeah.
So they bust in
there. Or whatever.
Yes, okay. Yeah. And he kind of basically stays there. Uh-huh. That first underground place he went, that's where they keep Mulligan.
Oh,
so he went back home,
yeah.
Went to Los Angeles, then came back.
Gotcha.
With her, or went to the oil refinery, got her, went back home. So Mulligan's being kept there.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
So they go rescue him. He sees his daughter, and he's like, you shouldn't have came back.
Of course.
I wouldn't have done this. I thought you were going to go. So Joe's there. They kidnap everyone. They have Pac tied up, And this is where this is kind of where it goes off the rails. And she, he's like, take my daughter here. She's like, I'm not your daughter. And he goes, no, not anymore. And look at this creepy ass weird smile. This full.
It's like side-eyeing kind of.
He's like a fat Lex Luthor.
Yes, that's exactly.
Yeah, because he's just a big bald dude.
Yeah.
He's like a kingpin if he went on a diet or something, like a teenage
Egghead.
kingpin. But so he makes an announcement that the heat will be on by the end of the festival. The guy is still in there being like, you should not turn this on. He's like, just fix it. We got it. So
It'll
now
be okay.
The event has changed. He's like, they make an announcement how they're having a wedding. And Wolf walks in and he's like, is the bride to be ready? And he's like, we're going to make a lovely couple. He's been in love with Schuler this whole time.
Yeah.
He wants her real bad. So they're on this platform that raises into basically the ice rink.
They've
the
got
same
some
stadium.
Crazy shit going on for being
They've
the
had
end of the world.
200 years to do all this.
True.
And probably nothing but time.
True.
I doubt shit grows there very well.
Yeah, you either die or build shit, I guess.
Yeah, you ain't got nothing else to
That
do.
makes sense.
You get napped in 38-degree weather all the time.
Banged, and then you worked, and then you banged, and then you slept a little while, and then you
Woke
and
right
banged.
back up
Yeah.
and tried to keep warm.
Yeah, the entire time.
So they have Pac, Mulligan, and the Buffalo all hanging upside down on this raisable platform. And so basically he goes out into the stadium and he's like telling everyone, they're booing, they're telling him to turn the heat on. We've suffered enough. He's like, but this is the guy. This is the reason the heat has not come. So they all turn on Pac and he starts saying, we normally slaughter the bear in this festival at this time. But now they slaughter the bear that fell in the pit on the first day.
Yeah.
They just tear it apart, I guess, slaughter it, something.
They're probably eating it.
Well, yeah. Using its skin, obviously.
Yeah.
So he said, instead, we're going to slaughter these guys and this buffalo. So everyone is, he basically says, which one should I slaughter first? And all the people start yelling and arguing. The old, the young, the buffalo. And then someone says, the heat. And Pat goes, I know that voice, and it's Elbow. Him and all his boys are like spread out in the crowd being like, bring us the heat.
Hell yeah.
So the whole crowd gets riled up. They're like, bring us the heat. Joe's like, fuck it, bring the heat on.
Oh,
so there's this giant tank. I did not understand this. There's a giant tank. So they're either at the ice skating rink or in the refinery, which I'm thinking they're in the refinery because there's a giant tank. Yeah. It starts filling up with oil. Elbow and all his boys immediately, they're like, shoot it. Shoot the tank. So it starts just dripping, leaking oil everywhere. The whole crowd loses their shit. They're like throwing out their drinks, scooping it with their cups. They're just going crazy for it. So Wolf, he's like, Joe says, hand me my daughter, or hand me Schuler and let's get out of here. Oh, I skipped the creepy weird part. Before he said we're going to slaughter them, after that we're going to have a wedding. And it's not going to be Wolf. He was like,
I'm going to marry
yeah, he was like, y'all have known her as my daughter, but y'all will know her as my wife now.
That's why he was making that face.
Yep, that I totally forgot. I got caught up with all the action. But yeah, he was trying to marry this girl he found and raised.
Of course.
Fucking creep, bro. That's weird.
That's what kings do, or whatever.
Yeah, creepy men in power. That's what they do.
exactly.
So Wolf is still mad. He's like, she was supposed to be my bride. Joe cuts his arm off with a chainsaw because he was about to torture them with a chainsaw. Just chops Wolf's arm off. Just
shit.
Chainsaws it off. So he tells his men to start kill all these, ruffians, these dude causing these trouble. So he gets Schuler, gets in a car. They roll out. Pac is on his buffalo yelling everyone to get to the surface. There's a big rumble. The oil's messing up. The plant's going to explode. Everyone's got to go. So she starts choking Joe and grabs the wheel and makes them crash.
Hell yeah.
So she gets out. She finds Pac. They're hugging. And he's like, you have to get to the surface. I'm going to go deal with Joe. He finds him. He mutters a line he mentioned when he first tried to kill him. And he shoots him right in the face.
Oh, that part's cool.
Yeah, all the kid. Yeah, he was like, it's hard to shoot a man when you look him in the eye. And he had said that to him when he was a kid.
Oh, really?
Because he was pointing the gun right at him, the little crossbow, and he's like, it's hard to kill a man when you're looking him in the eye. So he brings. It's not that important. It's just a cool little character part. So he shoots him right in the face though, and all the candles they were using for light falls down, hits the oil. A big, huge explosion. The whole city goes up. Schuler, a lot of people were able to make it out, like most of the city that was down there. There's plenty of time. He sees Joe shot in the face. He starts walking away. They say that they found him 2 days later, just frozen and dead.
Nice.
So Pac is done. He killed Joe.
He's frozen.
Yeah, Joe
frozen.
and Pac are both dead and gone.
Okay.
Frozen, just
Gotcha.
useless chunks of frozen meat now. And she said, but his spirit passed and all the citizens moved to a city where they can start anew on the ocean cliffs. Life as we know it today. And they show this big city above ground. They have their own flag. There's smoke and chimneys, people have heat. And it's Schuler and her son sitting on the beach surrounded by torches. And she's like, that's the story of your father and how he taught us to live with the power of the north wind.
Nice, dude. That's actually pretty cool.
You know, when I read it like 3 times, the first 3, literally every single time I read it, I was like, it's cool. I love the idea. And there was just some parts that I just didn't, I'm like, it just didn't grab me. But now that I've just told it and said it all out loud, it's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, they just utilized a lot of like tropey type stuff.
They did.
Like everything was kind of a trope, but that doesn't automatically make anything bad or good.
Right.
But they accomplished, because I didn't read it word for word, but from your story, like, yeah, that works.
Yeah, they told a really cool story, I thought.
It really was. It was simple. They didn't make it super insanely complicated. That's good.
Yeah, it didn't go too far or obscure or convoluted too much.
I understand.
People need heat. That's what it was all about, basically, in this old beef. So, yeah, it was cool, man. How were the faces? That was the lackluster part of it, I think. That's funny. Because you saw his face. That's a lot of that.
Yeah.
But, like, sometimes it looked really good.
They looked fine.
And the art was, fine. Like I said, I hate doing it to people and being like, I kind of nothing it. Mm-hmm. Like, it didn't bother me enough to be like, oh, gross.
Yeah.
It wasn't great enough to, like, this is
That's
incredible.
A valid reaction to something.
Very cool concept and story, though.
Yeah.
As far as the art and faces, just gonna.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. It was fine. Like you said, it was fine.
Cool.
But, overall, I guess now, I wasn't going to say this before, but that's a pretty cool comic.
It was cool and cool enough. That's for sure.
I like the idea of Mad Max. In the snow and ice.
That is cool.
That's
a genuinely cool idea.
Yeah, I was like, how has no one done that yet? Apparently they have.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry.
2007.
In comics, bro.
I think. 2007, 2006 or 7. Yeah, and in comics.
Between anime and American comics, every situation ever that could ever happen has been written about in some way or another.
True. We probably just don't know of the Mad Max
There's
snow
one
comic.
more exact. There's almost an exact replica.
Probably even more Mad Max than this.
Yeah, I wouldn't
this
be
one.
surprised.
Because it just seemed like that issue, where the cars were chasing them. But it is, instead of water, it's heat.
So, you don't remember Thunderdome, huh? Beyond Thunderdome, huh?
No, I didn't watch.
That's Gastown or something.
Oh yeah.
So they had pig shit that they used to make methane or whatever, and what the whole problem with the beginning of the story was the guy who ran pig shit town that made all the methane actually controlled the city. He was the one that could turn off the gas and not turn off.
Okay.
It's exactly
very Mad Max.
Yes. Yeah, that's why it was literally just every trope ever, but strung together in a coherent and entertaining way.
Yeah, very entertaining. That's a good way to.
How do you not write in tropes or anything at all?
They say impossible. There's like 30 stories you could tell.
Up, but yeah,
12 stories you could tell, some shit like that.
Whatever.
But no, it was cool. Now that I'm thinking about it and telling it out loud, I'm like, I liked it.
It was cool.
Yeah. Matt versus Adam.
Bing, bang, boom.
Let's do this. This is our segment. We use a random character generator, and we see who will win in a fight between who I get and who he gets.
Yup.
We got DC today. You want to go first or me go first?
You go first.
Man, I always go first.
You do.
And I always freaking lose.
I like it.
This is downtown. I got her before. So this is downtown Houston. It's fight on site. Someone's out chilling, drinking. Someone's, getting some food.
I always say leaving the coffee shop and leaving the tortilla. I literally
thought of coffee shop.
Yeah, I think we said it before.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Tortilla
Someone's at the bookstore.
Tortilla stand and coffee shop.
Someone's at the bookstore. Someone's at the coffee shop in the bookstore.
Oh, shit.
And then it's fight on site in the aisles.
Barnes and Noble. Holy
shit.
Noble.
All right, so I got Raven, but I know we've gotten her before.
Yeah, I think I had her, though.
Oh, yeah. Would that count for me?
I don't remember who we did.
Oh, that's cool.
You got somebody better the second
Yeah,
time?
I got
Go for it.
What?
Who is it?
It was the Phantasm. I clicked it again. So.
Oh, did you?
But yeah, it was the Phantasm. Do you remember Mask of the Phantasm?
Oh, shit.
I'm not gonna win.
Oh,
but
okay, yeah.
Because I'm a regular.
Why is it Wonder Woman?
Because I told you I clicked it again.
Oh, you clicked it again. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, Captain Atom.
Oh wow,
Who
yeah.
can like kill Superman in some stories and whatnot.
Some stories, yeah. I'm not winning. God damn it. I'm like a 25-year-old woman.
Yeah.
That has like I guess she didn't have powers, did she? Do you remember this movie I'm talking
Phantasm. Yeah. She was just in the cartoon. She wasn't
just
in
the movie. She popped up in the show.
That's what I mean. The cartoon movie. She wasn't in any of the like regular Batman comics, but they made I think a couple comics after the movie.
Yeah, she.
I think she was just a normal lady.
I believe. No, I know she was.
Yeah,
but I don't know if she could do anything special. Her name's like, Andrea Beaumont.
Yeah, she was like fighting like Batman and shit. So that's pretty fucking special.
I mean, no, she's a badass. Yeah. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm not beating whoever you said you got.
Captain Atom.
No,
bro.
I'm not beating Captain Atom.
I whenever they used to every once in a while when they used to have him go up against Superman, in all like lore and stuff and whatnot, it would make sense for Captain Atom to kill Superman like every time, basically.
Yeah.
Because Superman's super susceptible to high radiation or whatever.
Is he a good guy?
He's usually a good guy, but he's also a bad guy too. I've
seen him be a bad guy. I've seen him used as an ultimate weapon before, and I've seen him as just a hero, just running around, running his own team. It was Power Girl and that dude who looks like a Tylenol.
Oh my God! Yeah, the Red Tornado.
Major
guy?
Force.
Oh, Major Force. Pink and orange. Tylenol.
So yeah, I looked up Phantasm. I don't even have freaking powers.
I didn't.
No, you don't need to. I'm destroyed, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not doing too hot, bro. I should have lied and said I got Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I don't know why I don't lie, man. I can't
even see it till you show me.
Yeah, right. I could be lying. I'd be like, oh shit, I got the presents.
That one time I thought you were lying for realsies.
Oh yeah, but when I handed it to you, it was a better character than the one I had.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I do that to myself. I don't know why. Also, none of this shit matters. It's just dumb.
Hold on. All right, I found my.
I don't want to hear your powers. I don't want to hear it. All right, go.
All right. Oh wow. Okay, so this is cool. It's different. It starts out power skills. It just starts out with military training, and then dilustal armor. Which is whatever.
My blade specifically cuts dilustal armor.
Yeah, right. So, let's see. Nigh omnipotence, flight, immortality, invulnerability, regeneration, self-sustenance, esokinesis, which I have no idea what it is, chronokinesis, which is time control, disintegration, ergokinesis, which might be love control, maybe, I'm not sure, energy absorption.
Yeah, no chance.
No, listen, matter generation.
Shut up.
Atom kinesis.
I don't care. Stop
techno
this.
Interface. Anti-magic, bro.
Stop this.
Healing.
So we are on...
It just keeps going, bro. That's
ridiculous. That's
half.
A good pick. I really wish I would have got Wonder Woman to like have that good fight or something. But yeah, no, I'm a regular chick.
Yeah, you got a cool little costume.
I have and
you tricked Batman sometimes.
I mean, no, she's
smart.
Yeah, smart, formidable when it's hand to hand, but anyone with powers is just gonna mop the floor with her.
She's got like a little hand scythe or something, right?
The hand scythe. Your name, it's time to die. And your name is on my list. Something like that. She had a dope ass line. She would say right before she murked you. Was she killing those dudes? Because I can't remember.
I don't remember at all, bro.
I feel like she might have been.
I don't have.
Bills for little kids, so
when
they
you
didn't
said
show
it took me for fucking ever to remember what you were talking about.
I had a VHS of it.
Yeah.
It's called Batman Mask of the Phantasm.
Yeah.
And I believe it was the Batman from the animated series,
it
right?
was.
It is that character,
yes.
Kevin Conroy, rest in peace. But yeah, I believe it was him.
It was.
Okay. Yeah, that's why it was such a damn good movie.
It was like a DBZ movie to like DBZ. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's the same exact people in universe, but they don't talk about it in the fucking show, really.
I think she popped up in the show.
Did
maybe
she? Maybe it's
like
like
way
a-
later in another season.
Okay.
I swear.
I feel like they would have had her pop up before the movie came out
'Cause,
in
I mean,
an episode. And
the
then-
show, yeah, right. They introduced her in the movie, and then I think she popped up sometime
Okay.
later.
Yeah.
Later, but yeah, Harley Quinn came from that show. They did a bunch of stuff in that show. I don't think they created a bunch of characters, but that's two, and they're both pretty popular.
So I just wanted one quick thing. You know how you were saying that Captain Atom was like maybe built to like kill Superman? No,
Yeah.
he started in Charlton Comics.
Oh,
So he had nothing to do with
No
Superman.
shit.
If anything, he was a copy of Superman.
yeah, sounds like.
Yeah.
With a lot of cooler shit.
Yeah,
though.
yeah. I actually had a few
I
random
have
issues
never
when I was a
read
kid
it,
because
yeah.
it was in the dollar bin, like I've said a million times.
Right.
It was one of the ones that nobody cared about, and I read one, and I was like, I didn't read that many DC really, and
Yeah.
so like it was like an unknown DC character to me. I thought it was really cool. I think I actually bought a couple more eventually, and then I also bought some of what is he just called, the Atom comics?
Oh, the
where
one, the guy that shrinks.
just the guy that shrinks, because I got him confused one time, and I bought, and I liked them both.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. I liked both.
No kidding.
Yeah,
I might read some Captain Atom here in that Powers list. That's pretty crazy.
it is.
Sounds pretty badass. All right, you good?
Yeah,
You done
yeah.
gloating?
I'm done gloating. Yes.
2317. I'm coming back next week.
Yeah, I bet you are
Yep.
coming back to get your ass whooped.
Probably. Goddamn.
You want me to go first next time?
It doesn't matter.
Because I'm gonna lie either way, motherfucker.
We have to just watch each other.
Yeah, right. We have
like,
to sit right next to you.
put it
That's
in the
fucking
middle
funny.
and be like, all
I
right,
literally
look.
have never cheated once.
Me
and
neither.
I know you haven't because it doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
No, I know.
You gloat like it does, but anyway. So we are on Instagram, Facebook. Instagram is Flipping Pages 24. Facebook is the whole name of the show, Flipping Pages with Matt and Adam. New episodes release every Monday on all podcast platforms. And our editor's having trouble lately, but once he gets that done, we'll get regular YouTube videos out again. But so I wanted to say this. We can see some analytics, and we just wanted to say how happy this makes us. We
Hell yeah.
apparently, if this is true, we have listeners in Boardman, Pulaski, Los Angeles, Buffalo, Washington, Providence, Ashburn, a ton of places
Yeah.
that we don't even know where they are.
No.
Also, foreign countries, we got Belgium, Sweden, Brazil, Canada, France, Russia, Australia, Singapore, United
Yeah.
Kingdom. Like, if this is all true, this is crazy. Thank you all so much. Seriously.
You don't know how much it means to us.
Yeah, that's amazing. Oh, we're really glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
Hit us up, message us on
Yeah.
Instagram or Facebook. We'd
Yeah.
love to chat with some of y'all,
Yeah.
some of you.
One of the things, honestly, like I know we said it before, like how did you discover?
Yeah, that's what I
and
want to know.
what way, what site, what app are you using to listen?
Yeah, really.
Tell us.
How did you find us? That's what
That's
I
the
was
most
curious.
important, but-
Because I'm sure the listens make us more available or
I would
pop up
imagine
on
that's how it
lists.
worked. I
But
would imagine.
yeah, I mean, it's not like we're doing crazy numbers, but
No.
what we've done is surprising. We thought
Yeah.
it was going to take us a long time to even get to
We were
this
both
point.
prepared to just be doing zero numbers for
Pretty much.
Like I said, after like a year or two, I was like, yeah, if we still at only a year or two, that's like not
If
insane.
I was expecting to be at this in like a year or something.
Yeah.
Which is, that's
Slightly
what I
ahead of
expect.
schedule.
So yeah, I'm very, very thankful for that. So
Hell
thank
yeah.
you. If you're listening to this, thank you.
Yeah.
And if you want to support us, for anyone else who hasn't, or if you want to, you can rate, review on any platform you listen to
Spotify
us
or
Yeah.
whatever. Most
That-
of them let you do it.
That helps a lot.
It
Apparently,
does. Yeah,
I've
it's
heard.
nice. That one's good. Too.
And then subscribe. All that.
normal stuff.
Ring that bell, guys.
Yeah, give us likes.
I hate asking for this stuff, but
You kinda
it does
have
help.
to remind.
It's the best way to
Yeah.
support us.
It's-
Like, subscribe, all that internet stuff. So if you've done that, we appreciate it. If you haven't and you're just listening, we also appreciate that
yeah.
very much. So if you're listening to this right now, thank you very much.
All of you.
All right, so that's the episode. Y'all have a good one.
Bye.